boy, that has got some corrosion. Today on the workbench, we have another Nintendo Switch. This was brought to us because it does not dock to the TV. As far as the customer states, everything else works fine. Let's take a look. Under the microscope, we're looking at the USB-C port, and boy, that has got some corrosion. No surprise it doesn't work. I need to see if this thing even charges. I'm going to need to do a full pre-inspection on this system before doing any work because liquid damage is a nasty beast. And clearly, let's take a closer look. Man, look at that corrosion. Oh, what else has got corrosion on the inside? Yikes. Okay, so before we do any work, we're going to test everything on this switch to make sure that everything's working fine, the least of which is going to be charging, before we dive in and replace that USB port. Okay, we were able to charge this and get it to turn on, so it does in fact charge, and both the controllers seem to work. It read a game, it connected to the internet. The SD card reader did not work. It's important to know what does and doesn't work on something before you service it. So since we were able to get this to turn on, we now know that the SD card reader should either be repaired or at the very least is not our liability. We'll contact the customer and see if they'd like that SD card reader repaired as well. But for now, we're going to change out this port and see if we can resolve the system not docking. Alright, so surprisingly, we don't see any further evidence of corrosion or water damage. This is the liquid damage indicator. It looks good. We don't see corrosion around any of these chips. Of course, the chip that controls docking is back here. That's this guy. And I mean, what is this corrosion right here? Maybe a little bit. It's so isolated to just the port. And honestly, I'm not sure how they pull that off. But I'm gonna check this guy here. So this is shorted, which means there could be a problem with this chip, which might actually be the reason why it's not docking. But I can't in good conscience only replace this chip when the port looks as corroded as it did. So we're going to replace this and this, probably. I think I'm going to pull the port off first and see if this capacitor is still shorted, because it could be a problem with the port shorting that out. So pull the port off, check for short. If that's shorted still, then we'll replace this chip. Okay, and for those who notice, yes, I did knock off that charging fuse. I will get to it, but we're checking this guy, which is still shorted to ground. So we're going to replace this chip now. And I'm just going to put that back before I accidentally lose it. So we're just going to put some fresh solder there. I might lose it anyway. Alright, let's crank this up real quick. Alright, and right there. Okay, for everyone who was worried, let's just touch that up real quick. Yes, it will not charge without that there. So we make sure that that's there. Now we move on to the other chip. We replaced the chip. Now we're just gonna check to see if this cap is shorted still. It's not. That verifies that it was a faulty chip and not something else. Now we're gonna put the USB port back on. Okay, so to put the port on, we're first gonna prep the install site with leaded solder. And I don't like this tip. Okay, different tips for different jobs. Let's get that guy there. We're gonna tin each of these. Okay, that looks good. Okay, away we go. A little bit more flux here. And replacement port. Hey. A little bit more flux right there. Make solid joints. Alright, and we'll hold and release the heat. Holding, 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 holding until it all looks hard. Then count to 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Then we're going to do these front legs. Best to do that while the board's still nice and hot. And that'll be good. Everything should work now. I'm just going to clean up all my flux, test the port, put it all back together, make sure everything works, and we'll be done. Okay, not ready for reassembly yet. A little port tester still shows, here I'll show you, still shows open loop on pin 17. So we need to do further inspection on this guy. Alright, let's flip this over and let's focus our attention right here on the filters. And we should have continuity on each of these. That one sounds good. And that one doesn't. And this one goes bad all the time. So let's pull that off. And I'm using a narrow nozzle to focus the heat, and at 120 airspeed to try and make the most of it. Come on, little bugger. That 440 heat should come off pretty easily. Come on. There it goes. Okay, let's clean that up. Boy, I bet you can't see it all. Let's go anti-glare. Okay, look a little bit better. And we're going to prep this. Okay. This is our donor board. We're gonna check the part. That was good. That's good. All right, let's grab this part. See, when you work on Nintendo Switches, you got to be prepared for them to do unexpected things at every turn. They are a wormhole of problems, rabbit hole. They have over 24 common problems, and sometimes even when you're trying to fix a common problem, there's several different ways which it can go. And so you need a vast knowledge and experience of all those problems in order to be able to do the repair. I did not have this scrap good. What am I doing? You gotta grab it above the bottom of it. That should work. That's what a lot of people have a hard time placing small components. They grab it too far down with the tweezers, and truthfully it is challenging sometimes to grab it above the surface. But I'm going to do that, and then I'm just going to press down on it. Okay, now for good measure I'm going to touch both sides there, because why not? Because I'm in here and I don't want to have the job not done. Okay. All right, good. Now let's see if they got that open loop taken care of. Okay, so get my donor. This is my donor board. Get that out of the way. And let's zoom in a little bit. I don't know why the frame rate on this camera is not working good, but that's okay. Alright, should get some focus, and let's plug that in. And there it goes. Open loop is gone. Alright, see? Now I'm confident it's going to work when we get back together. We had an open loop before, now it's gone. I'm going to put this back together and see if it works. Okay, I got this most of the way put back together, and we're going to plug in this dock. We want to be successful. Okay, let's put up the channel. And let's turn this guy on. All right, it's the moment of truth. It's not working. We fixed every error on this. Why is it not working? Oh, there it goes. That was weird. Oh. Got some crud in these holes. Alright, let's try that again. Ha! Ha ha! It does work. Okay. Just wasn't seated properly. Alright, we're done. Thanks for watching.